Assalamu alaikum friends, my name is Adnan Kurban, and in today's video I will show you an easiest and the simplest way of creating report in C# Windows Form application. In this video we will use SAP Crystal report for showing all the data of a table onto the report, and we will discuss other ways later, but in our today's session we will just focus on displaying the whole table's data onto the report. So in order to use crystal reports, you will be needing a SAP crystal report software. You have to install it on your system before using crystal report, otherwise you cannot find the crystal report controls onto your Visual Studio's toolbox. And one thing to keep in mind is that in order to use crystal reports, you need to make sure that your target framework is at least 4.0 or above 4.0. If it's below 4.0, then it might not work perfectly on your system. As in my case, the target framework is .NET Framework 4.5.2, as you can see in the image. I will show you how to check the target framework in your application or in your project very soon. First of all, we have to make a database and a table to show it on the crystal report. So go to your database and create a database and create a table and insert some data in it. I have already created a database. I hope you all knows how to create database and table in it. I have a table. I have a database called sample database, and it has a table called sample table. And if we look at this table, it has this sample data that we will use today to display on the report, crystal report. So let's begin. So we'll switch to Visual Studio, click on File, New, and click on Project. Okay, now from the Visual C# list, select Windows and click on Windows Form Application, and change the name of your project as Crystal Reports. Tutorial, and click on OK. Okay, here you can see a form, and we will be using crystal report control and crystal report viewer, but before that let me show you how to check your target framework version. Just click on this project and go to your project's properties, and here you can see that your target framework, and here from the list of this targeted framework you can choose minimum fourth version or above any of the above versions if you want. I'll choose 4.5.2. okay, now close it. So this was our form. First of all, we will add an item, that is a crystal report. Switch to Solution Explorer and right click on your project, and we will add a folder in it just for the sake of proper organization. We will name the folder as Crystal Reports, and click enter, and now select this crystal report folder, right click on it and add a new item in it. And here from the Visual C# items list, select reporting and in the reporting you will see a crystal report. Now select it and change the name. I'll keep it CR1 crystal report 1. Okay, and click on add, and it will add a crystal report in the folder crystal reports. So here you can see CR1 is our crystal report, and it will pop up a menu that is crystal reports gallery, that will allow us to configure that crystal report. So what we have to do is we will be using a report wizard and standard word. Just click on OK, and here we have to create the connection. Let me show you how to create the connection. I'll remove the previous connections. Okay, just select create new connection, and since we are using OLEDB ADO.NET, so we will select the OLEDB ADO, click on the plus icon, and from the list of these providers we will use SQL Server. Since we are using SQL Server, so we will choose SQL Server native client, and we'll click next, and here we have to type the name of our server. In my as mine is this one, and we will use integrated security, and so just select your database from this list. Since in my case I have a sample DB, and click on next, and click on finish, and it will add a connection for us. So here you can see that we have a new connection named desktop, and okay, now what just select the sample DB, that is our database, and from the DBO select your table. We have a table called sample table. Just click on it and click on this button, and it will add our table into the selected tables column, and click next. Now here you have to choose the fields that you want to display. Since we have to display all the fields, as I have already told you, we will be displaying the complete tables data on the report. So just click on this button. It will just move all the fields to display on this column, and just click on next, and it's optional to make the groups. I will keep it as it is, and click on next, and select a subset of information to display. We will display all these 4 fields, and click on next, and I'll use the standard style. You can use any of these if you want to. Just click the finish button, and it will be create a main reports preview for us. And now what we will do is I'll press Ctrl A to select all the fields, and I will set their alignment to center just to make it look pretty. Okay, and now I'll save it. Okay, what we have done so far is we have created a crystal report. We have created a crystal reports folder and created a report, actually added a new item that is crystal report, and we have named it CR1. Okay, now what we are going to do is we have to actually go to our form, and in order to view this report we will create we will look for a control named crystal report viewer. I'll search for it, crystal report viewer. You can find it in the reporting field. Okay, and just select a crystal report viewer, drag and drop it on your form. Okay, I will just go to the properties of my form, and I will change the text of form 1 to crystal report viewer, crystal report form, and press enter to change the name. Here you can see the crystal report form name and I'll change the size to 800 comma 400 to make it appearable. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to write some code, and that would be actually linking this crystal port to our crystal port viewer. And before doing that, let me show you how you can actually preview the the actual form of this report that will be generated. Just go to the just click here, main report preview, and it will show you the preview of your report. Here you can see that this is the preview of our report. Actually, this is the data that we have in our table. We can switch to the main report. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to write the code, save it. Okay, just we will go and just double click on it, and it will take you to the code. And if we want to display the data when the form loads, then we will type the code here. And if you want to display the data on a buttons click event, then you can create a button and buttons on click event by dragging and dropping the button onto the form, and when you click on it, it will display. We will give it simple. We will make it happen when the form loads. So we will type the code here on the crystal port viewer 1 load. Okay, just a minute. We will have to type the code in the form 1 load, not on the crystal report viewer 1 load. We will have to click here, just click twice here, and you will be taken to the code. Okay, we will type the code here. All we have to do is we have to type the following code. First of all, type report document, create an object of report document. Let it be rpd equals to new report document. Now you can see that it is showing some kind of error because we haven't included the namespace that is necessary for it. So you can just simply take your cursor here and just click on this icon. Okay, just click here, and it will promote you to add this namespace. It will say that using crystal decisions dot crystal report dot engine. Just click on it, and it will make it disappear. Actually, the error will be disappeared since it has created this. It has included this namespace, crystal decision dot crystal reports dot engine. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to load the report into this object, that is rpd. It's object of report document. So type rpd dot load, and here in the brackets inside the inverted commas we have to type the name of our report, that is cr1 dot rpt, and semicolon. So what this statement is doing is it's actually loading the report into this report document object. And the last thing we have to do is we have to type the name of our report viewer, that is crystal report viewer 1 and dot report source. We have to provide the source to this viewer, so that is report source. We will use crystal report viewer 1 dot report source equals to, and you can easily see that we have loaded our report into this object rpd, so we will use it as a source. Just type rpd here and click on save. Now till now we have created a report documents object, and we have loaded our report into this object and used it as a report source for our crystal report viewer 1. Now what we have to do is we have to actually define the whole complete path of this report. Actually this is not the complete path, that's just the name of the report. And in order to provide this the whole path, we have to go to our solution explorer and just click on our crystal report and right click on it and click on open file in file explorer, open folder in file explorer, and just copy this path, copy it and paste it here, and we have to put a slash here and add the root sign here. Okay, you can make it will work for us in this way, but this is not the proper way of doing things. This is the hardcore way, is not the appropriate way. We will use a more appropriate way, that would be to create a string, and we will use the necessary commands for fetching the path of the application. So in order to do that, let's declare a string, name it as destination path, and we will assign this dest path by, first of all we will type application dot startup path This will automatically copies the startup path of this application into this destination path string, and now we have no need of this whole path. All we have to do is we have to pass this string this path here, and we will use concatenation operator plus and the remaining address, that is the crystal reports folder and the name of our file crystal report 1, and we will save it. And one last thing we have to do is we will go to our form, and we will click on our report viewer, right click on it and go to properties, and from the properties, actually we have to go to the crystal reports property. Just go, okay, just click on it, and okay, in order to go to the properties of this crystal report 1, we will go to our solution explorer, and from the crystal reports folder just select your crystal report 1 and right click on it and click on properties to go to its properties. Now what we have to do is we have to copy to, we have a field called a property called copy to output directory. We will change it from do not copy to copy always, so that it will actually copies the address of the project into the output directory. And just save it, and let's run to see whether it works or not. Click on start. So here you can see it's working perfectly. Just maximize it, and here you can see the records, all of the records that we have actually seen in our table earlier. All the records are shown on the report. And if we go back to our report, actually you can change the preview of the report accordingly if you want to. Actually you can edit you can move it from here to here or any place you would like to, and it will display it as it is. And now one more thing is what if we add new records into our database? Let's try adding another record. Let it be Usman, and let its age be 22 and gender be male, and execute it. Now you can see that we have the record Usman, age 22 and gender male. Now let's close it and rerun our application. Just click on start. Here you can see that our newly entered record, that the record that we have entered a few moments earlier, this record, actually this is not being displayed in our report, okay, until we refresh it. On refreshing the report, it is showing the record that we have added after creating the report. Close it and let me show you again. Just start your project again, and here you can see that it is not showing the record that we have added after creating the crystal report. And as soon as we click on the refresh button, it refreshes the report and display the record. And in order to tackle this problem, all we have to do is we have to use another command, that is along with these lines we have to add another line of code, that is crystal report viewer dot refresh report refresh. And okay, actually it's giving error. That's actually that is refresh report, not report refresh. Refresh report refresh report. Okay, and put brackets here. Okay, just save it, click on save, and now start your project. Close the previous one. Now you can see that this time it is showing the newly added record without clicking on this refresh button, because we have already refreshed it. Now if you go back to your SQL data source and add a new record, new 1 2 3 and new, and execute that and close this application, and again start your project, it will automatically add the record without having the need of refreshing it. You can see that it has added the newly added record. Okay, that's it. Your record is displayed on the report. You have successfully created a report, actually crystal report. And I hope you have understand how to create the report, and thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.